Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about the failure to success continuum matrix. About in the sense that's the topic that I have termed it as because this is an original thought of mine. So this is not something that you would find in any textbook or lecture or in any other source. I've come up with this idea and let's see how well we understand this. Now, failure to success is a journey and we need to treat it at that. What I have done is I have created two axes, the x-axis and the y-axis, and because of which we are able to divide the concept into four grids. The grid into four quadrants. And we'll discuss all of that. Now, success is not an outcome of a single factor. But even before the other factors can come in, you need to start with yourself. That's where your assessment really starts or should start. So we are going to talk about that aspect in today's session. When we talk about the x-axis in this diagram, as you can see on the screen, cognizance of self, how much you are aware about yourself. That could be low or high, good, bad or good, and the perception about you. This perception is what others have about you. Again, this could be low or high, or in the convention that we are following, bad or good. Now, no one is in a position to assess you better than yourself. I think all of us agree on this, right? What we need to do is we need to make a fair assessment of ourselves. Okay, in terms of what? In terms of my competencies, in terms of my competences, in terms of my skill set, my knowledge, wherever I am, I know best. Let's say the cognizance of self that I know I am not quite right there. So let's call it bad. And the perception that others have about you is also bad. So it's the the bottom left corner on the screen. And this is the term that we can use to describe people in that sort of phase at that point of time. That point of time becomes very important because it is not necessary that you're going to remain there perennially. You need to come out of that trap. But if you are there at that point of time, in terms of what you are expected to do, in terms of the work that you're currently doing or are interested to do, then the term is clear, it's failure. People see you as a failure. And you know that that is an acceptable terminology because you know your skill sets at this point of time are not right up there. Now, this is one end of the spectrum. The other end is you know that the cognizance of self, that you know that you have the right competencies and the perception about you is also great. Probably you're already in a position where you want to reach success. This could be you already, which is good. If you're not there, then that journey from failure to success is what we need to work on. And I'll show you the roadmap. So that is the ideal position to have. Failure is, you can say, not so ideal, but it's not the worst position. I'll explain why. It's not optimal, far from optimal, suboptimal. Success is the optimal. But failure, though it is suboptimal, it's not the worst. The worst is something else. Success is optimal and also the best position to be in. Now, what do we need to do? There are two routes that we could take. First, we could actually try to develop our competencies, work towards that. In that case, what happens is slowly we improve ourselves incrementally, but eventually where we want to reach at. And we know now, in terms of cognizance of self, we are already there at good. But the perception about you may not be there quite. They may still be bad because they are not aware of your newly acquired skill sets or competencies or knowledge, right? So there you need to showcase that newly acquired competencies and skill set to the world. If you don't showcase, you are going to be perennially trapped in what I refer to as the circle of doom. We can also call it the cycle of doom, but it's a circle of doom. From there, you can actually come out of. So, suppose you think of a stone attached to a string and you circle it. If the string were to snap, then it is no more held, the stone is no more held by that force and it shoots. So that is where we want to reach success. So that is one route. The route to success, there can be another route, but that is not the recommended one. And the route will actually take you to a detour where eventually, I mean, for temporarily, you may feel that you're doing great, but that is not the intended journey that we want to take. That's not right. What is that route? That route is, while you're still low on your competencies, you project yourself. You project yourself to be good. So the perception about you develops that you're really good, while you yourself know that you are nowhere where you want to reach. You are a con artist. Do con artists see success? Sure, they do. But eventually, they are laid bare. They are, I mean, it comes out to the world that they are fraud, they are fake. So that was never a absolute success. That was a temporary deceptive success. Has it become more common in this day and age, in today's world and today's age? Yes, it has become. People are actually showcasing things that they don't have. And part of the reason is the proliferation of social media, where you can showcase yourself as something which you're not. And people are actually gaining fame, gaining recognition, and eventually, when you interact, you are exposed, massively so and badly so. So that will never reach to a sustainable success. That is not even a success, but the perception of success is what you can get trapped into. So this is what I wanted to explain. There are other success factors, no denying that. But what I'm saying is, if you are already at there, too good. Even in the quadrant itself, it's actually not a single point. It's actually it's an area where you can actually, even if you're in that quadrant of success, you can improve yourself, right? If you're there, fantastic. If you're there in the success quadrant, fantastic. There's perhaps scope for improvement. For everyone, there is scope for improvement. But if you're not there, don't be disheartened. Start working on yourself. From failure, you will go to circle of doom and then eventually success. If you directly can work on your competencies and your image, your brand, then you take a direct, instead of the detour through the circle of doom, you can have a direct pathway to success. But don't even attempt to take a bypass detour where you are perceived as a con artist, because that would be a permanent damage to you, a permanent, what should I say, damage to your brand and image. So this was, in short, something interesting that I came up with. It can be very intuitive once you hear it, but that is what it is. And we have an exciting time ahead of us, exciting times ahead of us. We'll be talking more and more in our videos about some of my original thoughts, and hope you have benefited immensely from these sessions. Thank you.